Hello, I'm Carlos VERGARA. Thank you so much for tuning in to Ebru News on this Wednesday, March 31st, 2010. Here's a look at what's making headlines tonight. President Obama announces plans for offshore drilling in the U.S. His announcement reverses a long-time ban on drilling for oil in parts of the southern Atlantic and Alaska. The plan likely to be opposed by environmentalists, but Obama says it's an effort to cut dependence on foreign oil and help the economy. President Barack Obama announced an expansive new policy on Wednesday that could put new oil and natural gas platforms in waters along the southern Atlantic coastline, the eastern Gulf of Mexico, and parts of Alaska. The move would reverse a long-standing ban on oil drilling off most U.S. shores. Rescuers are searching for one of 4 crew members still missing after the crash of a U.S. Navy plane in the Persian Gulf region. The E-2C Hawkeye, which is primarily used to detect incoming aircraft with its 24-foot diameter radar, crashed. Let's go to the Middle East now, where U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said that Israel was making unprecedented concessions on West Bank settlement construction by offering to slow rather than halt construction.
Hi, I'm Carlos VERGARA, and this is RCN News in English for Monday, November 10th. Let's get right to it, shall we? Our top story, volcanic activity in Cajamarca, that's in the state or the Department of Tolima. And if that isn't enough, it's causing landslides and panic for those trying to flee the area around the very scary pressure cooker. RCN Samara Garcia is in the RCN studios with more on this breaking news situation. Samara?
But that was not the case Friday night. A melee involving more than 100 teenagers broke out, and worse yet, a gun involved. CBS 19's Bianca Espinosa went out to the mall today. She's live in the Newsplex with what she found out. Good evening, Bianca.
Good evening, Carlos.
Top story, the Coalition to Preserve McIntyre Park will stop at nothing to see the park kept the way it is. That includes fighting the construction of Meadow Creek Parkway by asking several environmental groups for their help. Today, the coalition held a forum. CBS 19's Liz Palka is live in the Newsplex after attending that meeting aimed at getting people involved in their cause. Good evening, Liz.
Good evening.
Jim, Jennifer, the body of that yet unidentified pilot taken away by a local funeral home about 1 hour ago. The body transported to the medical examiner's office in Richmond, where they will determine the exact cause of death. An investigator with the Federal Aviation Administration on the scene now about 45 minutes ago. We're still awaiting the arrival of an investigator from the National Transportation Safety Board. Highway 33, Jefferson Highway, took a look behind me, reopened about half an hour ago. Hi, Jim. Unlike a lot of other states, Virginia has that magic 80-mile-an-hour number. That means if you're driving 80 miles an hour or more over the speed limit, you may be automatically facing that reckless driving charge. Now, why does that matter to a lot of drivers? Take a look behind me.
Carlos VERGARA, he's standing by with today's top story. Carlos?
Hi, Brian. This is a story all of Columbia is talking about. The CUT planning a big national march on Thursday. But on Tuesday, a high-ranking government official says he has videotape showing a union member talking about how the strikes are not about pay, but rather undermining the stability of Álvaro Uribe's government.
Begin, though, with Carlos VERGARA with more on how this all happened. Carlos?
Joel, the 3 construction workers were killed when the steel and wood platform they were standing on simply gave way. They fell from the 26th floor to the 25th floor, and in all likelihood, as authorities tell us tonight, they simply drowned in the drying concrete below them. 8 hours after the tragic accident at One Bal Harbor, rescue crews bring down the 3 victims. The nightmare began about 10 a.m. Saturday.
From Miami, Carlos?
Yeah, the store manager here at New Way Supermarket doesn't want his face shown in our following piece, but he says he has no choice or had no choice yesterday in fighting back. Only problem is that the fighting back spilled out into the streets.
Porque esta criaturita de Dios me dijo.
Leila Aburto says that by the very mercy of God, she and her son are safe. Her son, in a rare request, asked to go inside to study moments before shots rang out in her yard.
With a gun in my face, anybody could be scared.
It began at the New Way Supermarket at Northwest 34th and 22nd Streets when Matthew Felder allegedly tried to rob the store.
He looked at me straight, pointing the gun on me. But I was lucky I had my gun too.
That's when the manager shoots off 3 rounds from his own weapon. One shot goes into a box sitting on the shelf. The second one goes through that plastic divider you'll see here. But this is the crucial shot. Take a look at this. This is the one that went through the lower part of the plastic divider. That's where Matthew Felder was hit in the chest when he turns around as he stumbles out the door.
Amazingly, the suspect, having taken around a hollow point bullet from a Glock 27 40 caliber handgun, manages to run a city block. Passem and another employee say they chased Felder through yards and over fences, all the while exchanging gunfire. 20-year-old Matthew Felder, already a convicted felon for another armed robbery, is expected to recover, but he now faces charges of armed robbery and 2 counts of attempted felony murder, among other things. Felder's former guardian up until 2 months ago says Felder fell into the same routine, even under probation for an armed robbery in 2002.
All the things that we tried to invest in him and put in him and instilled in him, it just went out the window.
Back at the New Way supermarket, Passem makes one thing extremely clear.
Don't come rob me because I'm not gonna let it go. If I get a chance, I'm defending myself. That's how it goes.
Felder now faces life in prison if convicted of those charges. Meantime, police say that the store manager's actions may have been justified. We're live in Miami. Carlos Vergara, NBC6.
Well, that wraps up Ebru News for tonight, Sunday, April 12th. I'm Carlos Vergara. Thank you so much for watching.